Hello. Thank you very much for watching this presentation video. I am going to explain about the prime regeneration technology and business from now. I want to introduce our special techniques and products that we've invented and developed for a long time since 2010. Our prime technology is an unprecedented profitable recycling business. Lead-acid batteries are widely used globally without exception. However, most batteries do not reuse them due to the battery's recovery technology limitation. If we reuse the lead-acid batteries, it can show the highest recycling level in cost savings. The prime regeneration machines are a part of environmental green energy, recycling, renewable energy, carbon reduction, and so on. The prime battery regeneration system. We developed the prime lead-acid battery regenerators by exclusive high-frequency pulse technology and the most optimized restoration algorithm. These make the remarkable fine bubble feature desulfation effects by the unique high-frequency pulsations without generating heat and damage to the cells. The prime lead-acid battery regenerators can restore inside cells by softly melting sulfate crystals on the lead plates and electrodes and improving their capacity and lifespan, similar to the new battery condition. Thus, the prime regenerators can make the highest charging performance for used batteries. The prime lead-acid battery regeneration technology is a revolutionary invention for battery life extension and cost savings. The prime is the only industrial regenerator brand that can say confidently 100% money back if lead-acid battery regenerations are ineffective. Why all lead-acid battery conditions are lower? The reason for the gradual decline in battery capacity is that sulfuric ions inside the battery have crystallized between the lead plates during hundreds of repetitive charging and discharging processes over the years. In this case, the charging capacity will also gradually decrease. The low specific gravity of the lead-acid battery cells after full charge is because the crystallized sulfates on the lead plates and grids did not dissolve completely in the electrolytes. All lead-acid batteries could be mostly restored to their original capacity by the prime regenerator unless they become serious physical damages.
The principle of removing crystal sulfate. Ultrasonic cleaner technology is an easy technique that has been common for a long time. Ultrasonic cleaners send ultrasonic pulses to objects to remove contaminants, but the objects themselves are inorganic and do not react to the pulses at all. However, the battery is similar to an organic, reacting and emitting a high repulsion pulse voltage instantly when a high-frequency supply. Electricity always flows from high to low voltage, which we call charging. So if any pulse voltage sends to the battery, its peak voltage is much higher than the machine's output voltage. Consequently, the battery's high peak voltage will flow inverse to the machine. Then, various electronic parts in the machine cannot tolerate this unusual high voltage and or explode and damage. It is a technical limitation worldwide, so no one has the technology to send high-frequency pulses to the batteries worldwide except Prime. Prime's exclusive high-frequency pulse and fine bubbles. Prime's high-frequency restoration pulse is a unique technology that is unprecedented globally and is the only superior battery restoring pulse. Not SMPS high-frequency pulse noise. As a result, prime regenerators generate plenty of fine bubbles during regeneration, which shows that the sulfate dissolves very softly without damaging the lead plates and grids of the lead-acid batteries, which have been weakened by long use. It is the only characteristic of prime regenerators that cannot be seen in other similar products. When charging, restoring by all other regeneration machines, including general chargers. Large bubbles by sulfurated hydrogen gas are generated like the oxygenator of a fish tank without exception. In addition, prime's high-frequency pulses do not generate heat in the batteries during the regeneration. Usually, other products generate high heat due to high voltage when charging. High heat is the cause of all battery deteriorations, and its lifespan and performance are drastically reduced.
The prime's exclusive pulse feature. The left oscilloscope screen shows the prime regeneration pulse from 15 kHz to 20 kHz. This screen shows the battery voltage of 12.45 volts. If any voltage is higher than this battery voltage, it is a charging voltage, and if it is lower than this battery voltage, it is a discharge voltage. Now it shows on the left small box shows that the charging voltage is 14.32 volts, and the discharging voltage is minus 6.99 volts. The screen shows the current supply during the prime regeneration process, including pulse charge, 14.32 volts, discharge, minus 6.99 volts, at once. And it shows the generation of high-frequency regeneration pulsation, between 15,000 to 20,000 times per second. These unique prime high-frequency pulse can remove hardened sulfate stones entirely and revive electromotive force. All devices that use SMPS can generate a high frequency of about 20 kHz to 40 kHz. These pulses are just pulsing noise that has nothing to do with battery restoration, but the suppliers call them pulse chargers, or regenerators. But you should know that all of these devices only output DC, and the pulses are fake, which has nothing to do with high-quality charging regeneration. SMPS pulse noise. It is not a regeneration pulse.
While regeneration, the real high-frequency pulse should confirm by connecting two probes to the battery terminals. Then, any engineer can check whether it's effectively pulsed on an oscilloscope screen or not. After connecting between regenerator and battery, the users must check the real high-frequency regeneration pulse wave on the oscilloscope screen through two connected probes, clips, of the battery's positive and negative terminals. Otherwise, there is no meaning of checking the real high-frequency pulse. It is because that he checks the pulse through the charging controller connected with SMPS. All SMPS can generate high-frequency pulse noise without exception. Since the high-frequency pulse of SMPS noise is too weak, it can't help regenerate. Due to those limitations, since the direct connection to the battery terminals with oscilloscope can be shown as only direct current, DC, other companies never show it to customers. The prime regenerators are the only equipment that can perform superior regeneration by supplying the real high-frequency pulse, inclusive of the current at the same time. The competitor's regenerator. The competitor's regenerator, which brand name is Dr. Cell or RenewCell, made in Korea, is connected to positive, plus, and negative, minus, terminals on a 12 volts battery. And an oscilloscope in the center is also connected with two clips to positive and negative terminals. While the regeneration process, the oscilloscope screen must show the high-frequency pulse, over 10 kHz at least. But, there is no pulse wave shown on the screen. Therefore, the oscilloscope screen shows only direct current, DC, from this regenerator without any pulse wave. Please see a flat white line on the screen. It is the DC. All competitors' regenerators are also shown only high voltage plus DC, or high voltage plus low frequency pulse, without outputting a high frequency pulse. However, these technologies cause high heat and damage to all batteries. These are no more than one of the equalization chargers, same as a balancing charger, using a high voltage, which cannot be called a regenerator. Comparison: the competitor's regenerator.
After connecting between regenerator and battery, the users must check the real high-frequency regeneration pulse wave on the oscilloscope screen through two connected probes, clips, of the battery's positive and negative terminals. Otherwise, there is no meaning of checking the real high-frequency pulse. It is because that he checks the pulse through the charging controller connected with SMPS. All SMPS can generate high-frequency pulse noise without exception. It is a very extraordinary situation that there are almost no other battery regenerators to supply the real high-frequency pulse, except the Prime products. Most others' high-frequency pulse show only no more than weak pulse noise shapes generated by SMPS.
The equalization chargers are used to equalize the internal resistance, voltage, and specific gravity of all cells using a high voltage, and are usually used only 1 to a maximum of 3 hours before the charge is completed. It is important to know that all battery regenerators that only supplies high voltage plus DC for a long time, or causing high heat and damage to all batteries.
Comparison: the Prime regenerator. The Prime regenerator shows the exclusive high-frequency pulse, as below. A Prime lead-acid battery regenerator has the same connections on the previous page. However, unlike the competitor's device Dr. Cell, which only shows direct current on the oscilloscope screen, the Prime battery regenerator shows a unique high-frequency pulse wave. As a result, the Prime regeneration technology is very different from other similar devices and superior to other regeneration ways in all technical features. Generally, all pulse regenerators chargers generate high heat and damage to the batteries, so it is very hard to apply battery regeneration or charging. Furthermore, when lead-acid batteries heat, their internal conditions deteriorate quickly, and their capacity and life can reduce in a short time. But Raportech Inc. in South Korea invented the only Prime lead-acid battery regeneration technology using a unique high-frequency pulse and its algorithm that does not generate heat and damage to the battery. As a result, the Prime regenerators softly melt hardened sulfate stones entirely and activate the electromotive force without heat or damage to the cells.
The Prime Monitoring System, PMS, Prime uses the world's exclusive high-frequency pulse and restoration algorithm. In addition, the Prime Monitoring System, PMS, software supports all Prime products. The Prime products support the Prime Monitoring System, PMS. All Prime regenerators and dischargers can communicate with a computer connecting by USB serial port. PMS software should install the USB serial port in the PC before connecting with the regenerator and the PC. When you press a print button, the graph will print out in a sheet image. The image above shows a total of 15 hours of regeneration process automatically after start. A yellow line is for the output voltage, and a blue line is for the output current progress shapes. These show two graph lines for the real-time progress as a whole through monitoring, and you can see that the output current decreases in steps after about 10 hours. After then, this regeneration is automatically completed. The image below shows the discharge test, and it shows that the constant current discharge is being performed up to the cutoff voltage.
Comparison with existing regeneration methods. In general, leading acid batteries regeneration methods can be classified into 4 following types. 1 Primed high-frequency pulse type. It is the only technology that uses SMPS and the optimized restoration algorithm of high-frequency pulses for the regeneration and does not cause heat or damage to the batteries. The highest efficient regeneration. 2 Low-frequency pulse and SCR type. SCR or SMPS is used, and a low frequency of 60 Hz to 180 Hz is used and is widely used in most markets. However, they are all inferior to the Prime products in every respect, including 5-10 times more power consumption. 3 SMPS switching noise pulse type. SMPS is used, but it is almost cell balancing chargers using DC high voltage. They claim to use high frequencies, but this is not true. The reality is that they only supply low frequencies, or DC. During regeneration, the high voltage supply for a long time generates a lot of heat and causes damage to the battery. For chemical additives, dry salt used a lot in the past, but almost disappeared from the market. Due to the regular purchase of chemicals and repeated charging and discharging, electricity costs and time are high, so the efficiency is the lowest.
The exclusive advantages.
The prime lead-acid battery regenerators were invented and developed on the world's first unique, high-frequency, desulfation technology, which others had never technically succeeded. The development of prime equipment includes a lot of original technology that other companies do not have. Although RePowerTech Incorporated in Korea is still a small company, we pride ourselves on being the most advanced in all technical aspects of lead-acid battery regeneration. As a result, the prime products can significantly reduce the cost of your batteries and continue to regenerate and recycle them, thus playing a big role in combating global warming and protecting the global environment. The main exclusive features are as follows. 1. Real high-frequency pulse regeneration technology. 2. Software algorithm maximum restoration effect. 3. Fine doubles desulfation, no heat and damage to batteries. 4. Battery condition tester for 12 volts batteries, RPTT 300. 5. Power supply mode for long stored sleeping batteries. 6. Multifunctional machines all in one, max 7 in 1. 7. Fastest desulfation time and quick charge time. 8. Energy cost saving of 80%, minimal electricity use, 20%.
The best battery regeneration timing.
The actual DOD, the depth of discharge cycle of most lead-acid batteries is up to 80%. Therefore, if the used capacity drops to lower than 80%, the users bear the risk of lower battery matters caused by the overusage. Generally, the battery capacity reaches a 90% state. After then, the remaining capacity deteriorates very quickly, like this image. An 80% to 70% remained battery capacity is a time to replace the battery bank. The prime regeneration can bring the best battery regeneration timing at 90% to 70% based on the discharge test. When to replace the battery depends on the user's decision. If battery capacities are less than 50% before regeneration, by a discharge test the capacity improvements are generally very low.
How to optimize battery capacity and lifespan. This table is based on the new 2 volts battery bank, rack, 48 volts. Suppose you regularly regenerate with prime like simple recharging whenever the capacity is 10% to 20% lower after using several months of lead-acid batteries. In that case, battery conditions will recover to almost new states repeatedly. Therefore, the actual period of use life can be 2 to 3 or 2 to 4 times longer. And the users can use it while keeping a high battery capacity for a long. Prime's repeated regenerations do not damage the battery. The prime battery regenerators remove or minimize the causes, such as sulfates, oxidation, high internal resistance, corrosion, and others, of battery heat whenever performing regular regenerations. Thereby the capacity and lifespan of most batteries can extend over 2 to 3 times.
All discard state batteries have mostly physically damaged states, and we do not recommend restoring them as they have almost none of salability or profitability. Prime battery regeneration products. Classified by nominal lead-acid battery voltages. There are many reasons why all prime regeneration users are all said that prime is the world's best. 1. Prime is a top-notch regeneration machine with a much better restoration rate than any other restoration method. 2. Prime is safer and softer than any other regeneration method, enabling repeated restoration without cell damages. 3. Prime is a fully automatic system that works more easily than all other devices. 4. Prime completely removes sulfates and can be fully charged simultaneously in only 1/15 hour regeneration, including a full charging from empty capacity. 5. Prime does nothing of the physical and complicated work. 6. Prime is the first and only regeneration system in the world to revive the battery's electromotive force with a real high-frequency pulse of 10 kHz 20 kHz. 7. Prime's costs are the lowest, such as electricity and labor, for restoration, and has the best ROI. 8. Prime takes the shortest total regeneration time per battery set, or E, while it is the product with the highest regeneration rate and the highest profitability.
Business application fields with Prime. It is to be an eco-friendly operator that meets the purpose of diversifying business in the future, saves carbon, and saves the Earth and human beings from coping with the global warming climate. Applicable lead-acid battery business fields: electric forklift, electric lift, electric sweeper, electric wheelchair, heavy equipment, military equipment, mining equipment, agricultural machinery, solar ESS, industrial UPS, telecom tower UPS, power plants, ships, train. Applicable to all kinds of lead-acid batteries such as camping cars, computer rooms, eco-towns, power companies, battery stores, and others. Prime battery regeneration technology is the unprecedented innovation. The exclusive high-frequency pulse regeneration technology with our particular algorithm can change the whole paradigm of battery regeneration as well as maintenance methods. Repartech will head to be a leading global battery supplier for the most competitive new and renew lead-acid batteries. Thank you very much.